Hi. All right, I'm live. Wow, okay, I didn't put a title on this. So this is my first time actually doing... Hi. All right, I'm live. Wow, okay, I didn't put a title on this. So this is my first time actually doing anything on Instagram. I should probably turn my... Hold on a second. I still have the heater on there. Hey! Skippy Sprinkles and Terminator X... Hi, you guys! Good to see you! Alright, so I'm kind of doing something different tonight. I guess I could wave at you guys. Hey! I'm doing something a little bit different tonight. Actually, I'm recording my podcast on Instagram first here, something different, and then uploading it to Anchor as well as Spotify and the different things. And so one of the things I read is they said you should become interactive on hi, Stephen Ellen Green. You know, it said you should be interactive on Instagram and do it on Instagram, and then upload it onto Anchor, and then it goes into all the different things. And I thought, okay, well, what my podcast is mainly is, it's just, I called it a satirical rant for the apocalyptic times, but I'm afraid to say the word apocalypse right now, because if you say apocalypse, it means that you're an end time person, and I'm really not. But you know, we are living in crazy times right now, and I know that we're all still locked down, and so I hope that all of you are doing well. I know I haven't seen some of you here, I can see that have joined. I know you. Okay, so I really hope that you're all doing well. And I'm just kind of seeing where this goes, because sometimes I'll interview somebody and do a longer version. Like I did an interview of Jason Stewart recently, and also Wu-Tang Clan Second Generation with TV. Those have been a couple of interviews I've done with this. So I guess I just want to talk about stuff right now. If you've noticed some of my posts, or if you I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if you guys follow any of my posts here at all, or I think some of you do, but I posted a couple of things. One that I want to talk about, an artist named Tom MacDonald, who I shared a screenshot of one of his songs, and he was playing it. The name of the title of the song, I believe, is like "People Are So Stupid" or something like that, and he's really mocking the media and hosts and stuff. And he's a very edgy comic. Not comic, I mean rap artist. He's not a comic, what I'm saying. Rap artist, comic, what does it matter? But he's really good and controversial, because having free speech and saying what you really think. I know some of you guys are comics here, Skippy Sprinkles and Stephen Allen Green, and I don't know how you feel about what's happening to comedy and being able to say certain things. It just feels like there's such a, you know, oh, if you don't say this word this right, or if you joke about this person, if you do this over here, you know, I just feel like I'm handcuffed in a way. I mean, I don't feel handcuffed. I just feel like, you know, if I continue talking the way I really want to, you know, all of a sudden, boom, you don't have a YouTube channel anymore, or you don't have a Facebook account, or you know, you don't. But I don't know. I mean, I think about like what expression, like what is it that you want to say? What is it that I want to say? What do I really want to convey? I mean, I don't really feel like I'm a person that really wants to be hateful to others. I think that maybe on social media, what happened with the last... Oh, hi! Someone else is here. Gosh, I'm really great to see you guys here. if you want to make a comment or something, I can also respond back. But I'm talking about censorship and artists and rap artists and stuff. Anyways, Tom MacDonald, the first song that I heard was a song called Censored. I wish I could play music here, but if you go to @HangoverGang, he's here on Instagram, you can listen to some of his lyrics. He really does. Well, I mean, it's not left or right wing, but it's the truth about what's going on right now. Because I hate to even think about being left or right wing at all. Like this last election, right? I'm not the one that just happened right now, but the one before that happened in 2016. And I don't want to stay too much on this topic, but I feel like I lost friends over it. I think everybody had there was a big separation that happened with what happened politically and what we thought was happening in the world. And to be really honest with you, I personally, like, looking back and having gone through this experience and to see what's been happening to the United States, I feel like both sides aren't right. Like I think that the division in the United States and the I'm thinking most of the politicians aren't okay. One thing that I saw a video recently. I follow a guy named Jamie Deluxe, and he found some evidence. Apparently, I'm going to bring up Ghislaine Maxwell because a lot of people want to say that, oh well, the left and the Clintons and the deep state were all the ones that were involved with Jeffrey Epstein or the Lolita flights or anything like that. But now there's been evidence. Apparently, Ghislaine Maxwell came out and said that Jeffrey Epstein had both filmed Trump and Bill Clinton before doing things. And so there was evidence on both sides of the fence of what's going on. I know that's a really dark topic to be talking about right now, but I think the real illusion that we've been having is that we think that one party or one president or one side has been perfect. Like there's a savior for us in the United States. And personally, I don't think there is. I don't think there's going to be a person right now that's going to step up and just make it happen. I think that we as people need to really wake up and assess what's going on and look at how we're being manipulated. All right. Okay. So that's my little rant on that topic. But I really love artists that have the courage to come out and say what they really think. And, if they can put a good beat to it and rap to it and have it, and be able to sing and get a point across, I really appreciate that. And so I think that if you want to check out Tom MacDonald's here on Instagram and check him out on Spotify, because I've been playing his music and I've really enjoyed it. And when I did do that one Instagram share about him, I think over 150 people responded to it, which is really surprising to me because that doesn't normally happen to me on Instagram. I even noticed that my brother, liked it. And my brother has a really cool Instagram name. It's Neo Bazin. So, which came from Neo, and I think Bazin, like a French philosopher or something like that. I gotta ask him. Okay, now I don't sound all that educated. Although I was listening to Chopin earlier, but anyway. Okay, another thing I want to talk about. And I'm probably going to take a break here in a moment and say, we'll be right back with more Not My Rabbit Hole with Tere Joyce in just a moment. Because I somewhere in the podcast when I edit it and put it up on Anchor, I want to have a breakaway just in case there's a commercial that you can put in there. So, Another thing I want to talk about that I've been really interested in and I've been looking into is the actor Shia LaBeouf. And I did a show, I did a live stream about him a couple nights ago on my YouTube channel. And on YouTube, I started using this new software called StreamYard. So I can do like a share screen. It has a little ticker tape and everything. And, you know, I can show videos and examples and thoughts about you know, a topic. And the topic that I got interested in was Shia LaBeouf. And it's not the first time. It's weird too, because today I told my friend Doug, I go, oh Doug, I did a broadcast you know, about Shia LaBeouf. And he goes, oh, what an asshole. He's an ass, you know. And I think that a lot of people have a negative feeling about him. But I think that he's been kind of shamed by the media. It almost feels like it's a setup, like it's almost like being done on purpose. Like maybe like it's like a high level of entertainment business gang stalking going on. And one thing that tipped me off that maybe you know, Shia LaBeouf wasn't getting a fair shake was I was watching a Gayle King interview of his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend, FKA Twigs. And you know, she's claiming that you know, that he broke boundaries because like, or she got suspicious of him because he climbed over the fence to put flowers on her porch. And, you know, that was her first clue that, you know, he broke boundaries by climbing the fence to bring the flowers over. So that was a sign that maybe, you know, he doesn't follow the rules. I mean, we all know that, you know, he has erratic behavior and he's done a lot of stunts in the public and things like this. But a lot of the things that he's done are performance art. And in a way, I think they're, you know, it's quite brilliant. I mean, I personally like stuff like that. Like, I like old school performance art, like, you know, John Lennon and Yoko Ono stuff. Right? I mean, like things that were different and they make you think and it's kind of like spontaneous. I mean, it's I know that, you know, it can be misconstrued as being weird, but in a way it's been quite genius. And I think some people, you know, right away want to have a negativity towards Shia LaBeouf, because, you know, the media has put a lot of negativity out at him. And then, you know, he took I guess what people would consider to be a liberal stance, which I think maybe offended the other side or the conservative side. They're thinking, oh, well, you know, he's just a little punk out there. But his performance art where he said, you know, we will not be divided. We will not be divided, you know, kept doing it, you know, with this group, and they kept doing, you know, and they go, well, you know, we had to remove him away because because he was doing it like for a few days, like it was like a continuous group of people that would just, you know, say, well, we will not be divided. And in a way, looking back on that, you know, I think he was doing that in like 2016, but but we did become divided. It was almost like at that time he was calling it, we will not be divided. Oh, that's left wing. You know, there's always a media that's going to define what you do. Like, you know, like they're going to, you do one action and it goes in, well, that's a right wing thing. So, you know, you're talking about that's right wing. But if you talk over here, well, that's left wing. So I think that, you know, Shia LaBeouf. It's hard to say his name. Shia LaBeouf. There's a song called Shia LaBeouf Live, and it's you know, and it depicts him as being a cannibal. That's kind of weird too. By a singer named Rob Cantor. See, they've even had a song about him which you should look into because it goes, there'll be a woman with a violin and she'll be like, and she goes, Shia LaBeouf, and they all take, they'll stop with their instrument and it's this big weird performance art dance and everything. It's pretty interesting. At the very end of the video, maybe you remember this video. At the very end of the video, there's Shia LaBeouf like clapping, about everything and then having this look on his face. I see a lot of pain in his eyes. I don't know about you, but the picture that I took that I've used in the images here on Instagram, he's on the red carpet and it's just like the look in his eyes is like, just take the picture and get it over with. Like what happened to him? Like, because he's a Disney kid. He started out with Disney and his history is that, and I read it in Wikipedia, his parents were kind of like hippies, described them as being hippies. His dad was a rodeo clown that was a sex offender, and they were really poor. And I guess like he saw a young actor that had a lot of things and money, and he goes, you know what? That's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and I'll become, an actor. And so he was supporting his family, and he did a movie, and I want to watch the movie. The trailer looks really interesting. The trailer, it's called Honey Boy. And he plays his father. And he wrote it while he was in rehab. Now I want to get back to, I'm going to go full circle with, I kind of have a stream of consciousness thing here, so stick with me. Gayle King, because it comes around to Gayle King, all right? Honey Boy, he did this movie when he was in rehab that he wrote about with his relationship with his father, which is pretty much one of the reasons why he had a drinking problem, or an drug and alcohol problem, because of his pain that he had in his childhood. I think some of you guys can identify with this, right? I mean, entertainers, or artists, or sometimes comedians, we didn't necessarily have the best, childhood going on. So he writes this script, and the female lead is FKA Twigs, who is also a singing artist. Maybe you guys already know all this stuff, and I'm just sounding like redundant and saying it, but just in case you didn't, because I didn't know. I didn't know about the movie. I didn't know about the girl. I didn't know about the song. It wasn't until I saw this, I knew that he was erratic. He showed up at the, I guess like the Sundance Awards or some awards for a movie that he was in with the, I guess it was Necromaniac. There was a movie called Necromaniac that apparently the actors actually really had sex in. So he showed up at the awards with the bag on his head that said, I'm not famous anymore. Which I think is just kind of like brilliant. Like, I'm sorry, I love shit like that, all right? He's done these types of stunts and stuff. Okay, so FKA Twigs was on Gayle King. FKA Twigs played the female romantic lead in his movie that he wrote in rehab about his dad and his childhood of becoming a child star and what that was like in the relationship with his father. And even in an interview he pretty much says like, well, my dad wasn't really my dad was like my buddy, and that's what the problem was. So the girl who plays the female romantic lead, that's about him. So it's him writing about probably a first relationship as a young man, or a maturing coming of age young man, right? And then the girl who played that part was the one that he had a romantic relationship with, and she went on Gayle King, right? And Gayle King's interviewing her, And, it's one of those Gayle King, like, like Barbara Walters like to do that kind of stuff. Like they almost have that, like that fake sincerity. Like, oh, and then what else happened? Oh, they have that, I'm not doing the right face, but there's just this kind of look that they have. Like, I care about what you're saying, and, I really sympathize with you, but that they're behind their brain, there's like a shark agenda going on. And so they get to the point where, she cries. And, when you watch the interview, like, I want to cry too, because, I'm a woman. And by the way, I'm also a woman of, I've gone through, I'm divorced because of domestic violence. Like, some of the things that she was talking about and saying, like, oh, I called the support hotline, and they helped me. I called the support hotline one time too, because, like, when you're abused, when you're mentally and emotionally abused, and then it goes into the physical arena, sometimes you lose touch with what is appropriate or not appropriate. Like, I called up and I go, well, you know what? He threw me on the bed and, held a knife in my neck. Is that normal? And I know I sounded like, I can say that, and I can sound like almost comedic when I say it. Like, oh, he had a knife in my neck, and is that normal? I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I seriously did that, and I didn't go, yeah, he had a knife in my neck. Is that normal? No, I didn't do it like that, right? And, so they said, no, it's not normal, and you need to have a separation, and you need to take care of this, and, like, talking about how sometimes relationships can escalate to, physical violence and stuff like that. So, here I am, I'm listening to her, and I'm sympathizing it and everything, and she's going on, and then all of a sudden she says something like, and then Gayle King goes, well, so then, like, what happened, or why the lawsuit, or whatever. So the young lady sits there and she goes, well, I told him that I wanted him to privately get help and take care of himself. And I'm thinking, okay, that's normal, right? That's a normal thing to do. And then she goes, and then I wanted him to give to a charity. I wanted him to give to the hotline that I called when I was in trouble. They were really good to me, and I asked him to give a donation to that charity. And I thought, okay, wait a second here. What's this? Like, I'm requiring you to give to a charity. Like, after he didn't give to the charity, she went after and made a lawsuit on him. I don't think that's right. I don't think, like, why the charity? Like, why the money thing? Like, it's like, okay, well, I mean, I didn't ask my ex-husband. I didn't say, you need to get therapy and take care of yourself, and you have to give to the call center that I called when I was afraid, because they were really good to me. And in order for you and I to ever get back together, or have any type of reconciliation, or for me not to sue your ass, you're going to have to give to this charity. I'm like, what is that? Is that extortion? Is that extortion? Is that, okay, let's say, because I had a problem, I watched that footage quite a bit, and, afterwards, after I do this podcast here on Instagram, I will link the show that I did. It's way more thorough than me explaining it to you right now, because this is just kind of an impromptu thing anyways, and, I'll get better at this in the future, but I just wanted to see what it was like to actually be talking on Instagram. Okay, I'm almost a half an hour in. So let me take a break. We'll be right back with more Not My Rabbit Hole, a podcast with Tere, Joyce. Stay tuned. Okay. So, welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole, the podcast with Tere, Joyce. I just put, oh, that's myself talking to myself on the screen there. I am doing something different tonight. I'm actually gonna, what I thought I'd do, because as I advertised my podcast, I said something like Friday nights at midnight. Like, for some reason, like, to do this every night, Friday night at midnight, and come up and talk to you guys and do a podcast and post it. I mean, I'm kind of talking off the top of my head right now, but I thought midnight was a good time. Yeah, right? It's quiet. It's Friday night. It's midnight. Something fun. Maybe sometime one of you guys might want to join me and kind of riff on a topic or something. I don't know. So, I just kind of feel bad. I don't know why. I just feel bad for Shia LaBeouf. And I'm just kind of wondering about, you know, we're so quick to like be, oh, the woman's a victim. And I'm a woman, right? But did she get a police report? Did she go to the police? You know, I mean, okay, so she called the hotline. I mean, I guess you don't really need to have a police report to like prove that, you know, you've been in a battered relationship, but, you know, only for people who have a lot of money. Like, it's a fact that he's a big star. He has a lot of money. They want to get your money. Oh, now you have to pay money for this. You know, you have to, no, you can't just get rehab. You can't just go get, help for your emotional problems. And what a head trip. Because a lot of people think about like Shia. I looked into his work. Like, he really goes the distance. Oh, you know what? I had a heating blanket on here. I might just. This is gonna be like as pretty as it could be, but I'm thinking like this will kind of keep me warm. Like, I'm sitting here like an old woman, right? I'm put my heating blanket on now. Just see, this is actually, believe it or not, I know like a lot of you may not know this, but I bought an RV, and it is, I'm kind of excited about it. I have a solar generator to put together and solar panels, and these little lights right here, I don't know if you can see them. Those are like solar. When the light shines on them, it's kind of bright, so it kind of takes away like what it is. I'm going to get a couple more, but I put these little panel things out on and the sun lights it up, and I'm going to get a couple more, and I have like, oh, here. I got this, my light is actually running, this is a solar, battery holder, and so you can put it out in the sun or you can charge it, but I'm just actually running my light off of this right now. So and I have a little light behind here, like I got one of those little lights that kind of you put behind your camera. Yeah, I'm getting professional now, you know what I'm saying? So all right, so I don't know. I just felt like, what if he's being set up, and what it's a head fuck, really, you know? Because because the fact that sometimes when you're an actor, and especially if you're doing method acting and things like that, like for example, Jim Carrey, you know, they say when Jim Carrey played Andy Kaufman that he stayed Andy Kaufman the whole time. you always hear stories about, how, or an actor will have it, they'll, gain weight, or they'll do things because they're playing a role. They'll kind of experience those things in life just so that they can get a sense of what that is. Like there's this one part where he actually even pulled a tooth out just for the part. I mean, that's hardcore. Or like he didn't bathe, and and the media will say, like there's all these kind of like media shows that'll kind of, and then he did this part and he didn't bathe, and he's really wacky over here, like he did another part and he took LSD when he was doing the part. And I'm thinking, all right, did anybody remember Easy Rider? Like that whole movie was done on acid. Like it's almost like there's things that people have done, not even in my generation, older generations than me, like before me, that they did drugs while they were, filming or whatever. I mean, like there's been a lot of experimental artists out there. Also, the movie Nymphomaniac, okay, that they did, right? Where it was rumored that the actors had sex, and he was in a relationship with the girlfriend, and then the girlfriend was upset because he said that, he was going to have real sex with his partner while he was on film, and they cast him by, he submitted a sex tape with him and his girlfriend to get the part. And I'm thinking, okay. And this was a real show talking about this. And I'm like, wow, it's not surprising to me though, that there has been that the mainstream media is just like one notch away from actual adult films. It's like it's getting so close, like there was a movie called Short Bus, by the performer and the creator of Hedwig and the Angry Inch, all right, that the actors also had sex or did sexual acts on camera. And so there has been this slight shift between the two worlds. And but it's just the way the media plays it, like, oh, he's doing this, or oh, he sat and he had a paper bag on his head and he had a show where, people came in and he had like a whip and this and that they can do things to him while they were doing the show. And that's just weird. No, it's not weird. Okay. It's weird when the media says they want it to be weird. But if they love somebody, like let's say Marina Abramovic, right? Marina Abramovic did a show called Rhythm of O, where she sat on stage for hours and let the audience do whatever they wanted to her. And, they basically, they violated her. Some of them even violated her. And it was like, oh, this is art, this is the CIA will tell us what art is, right? This is art. It is art. Okay. So how, I don't see how that performance art piece was any different, other than the fact that the show was called #I'm sorry. Like he's always having to say, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm Shia LaBeouf, and I'm sorry, and I'm this, and I'm that, and the media tells me, and I act out, and, but, I don't know. I just feel like he doesn't have a fair shake. Even when you read it in Wikipedia, you realize that his dad actually, hit him or beat him, or he had PTSD, and, his dad was in Vietnam and had a PTSD flashback and pulled out a gun on him when he was a kid. And he's had all these things happen to him. And then he gets beat up all the time. And then he has to do all these press junkets. He's got to be on, Conan and Jimmy Kimmel and Ellen, and sit back and go, yeah, I got arrested, and this happened, and yeah, I was at Walgreens, and I wore a bunch of different outfits, and I tried to get cigarettes, and I was really drunk. Apparently you shouldn't go shopping when you're drunk. Ha 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 ha. All right, we'll take a commercial. We'll be right back. Hey, you're doing good, Shia. Keep it up. But I don't know. I just feel like there's more than meets the eye, right? There's more than meets the eye. Like we don't really know everything that's going on, and I just thought that the whole, well, as long as you give to this charity, I'm not going to sue you. Okay, you didn't give to the charity. You didn't do what I said. And now I'm going to sue you. And now I'm going to go on Gayle King. I'm going to humiliate you on Gayle King, whether it's true or not. It's the fact that I said it. And then Gayle King's going to sit back with her talking head journalists and go, oh, yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what happened. And they have this big forum chat after that. And blah, 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 And it's like, oh, my God. Actually, I just feel like I'm kind of just rambling right now. It's like, what? Am I making any sense? Anybody even watching anymore? I guess I shouldn't really do that. I should go, anybody watching anymore? Blah, 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 blah. All right. Enough about Shia. The other video is like way more concise, and I had all my little PowerPoint presentation. I'm just kind of rambling about it, trying to see if I can find any other footage or cutaways that I can put in some other footage. Hey, I wanted to do this a lot earlier, or a couple months ago, but I didn't have any bottom teeth for a while, and actually some of my Instagram photos, I still took pictures, but you couldn't tell. Because, if you put the camera in the right place and keep your mouth shut and kind of go like this, nobody can tell it happened. But I have, just so you know, to break the illusion of, if like, hey, it's not perfect. I've got 2 implants on the far left, and I've got 4 posts on the bottom with a permanent denture that comes down. And January 6th, the day that, the storming of the Capitol happened, I bit down on something, and it just, the whole piece just snapped. And my dental work, by the way, has cost me $25,000. My mother co-signed, and I'm still paying it off. So it's like, what happens to your mouth, or what your mouth, your teeth are just about as expensive as, like, I don't know, what does a Tesla cost? Is it more than $25,000? I'm probably so out of the market, I wouldn't even get one. But, it was just so ironic that my teeth broke almost like at the same moment that it felt like our country broke. It was weird. It was like the teeth, and then the storming of the Capitol by the idiot in the horns on his head. And of course that, letter of the alphabet that we can't really say anymore. That whole thing that's been going on. That I could talk about that for hours, because I've been telling people that whole thing was going to happen someday with the letter of the alphabet, because the letter of the alphabet had been on, the FBI watch list for domestic terrorism since 2017. Oh no, but that's okay. Everybody can, if you ever mention it, if you say, oh, well, something might not be right here. It might be the way that the media is going to use this. It's going to play out in like politics over here. And then it's going to go over, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was right. But, I got smacked around for, say, hey, you're on the train tracks. Why don't you just get off of it for a second? I had people just telling me, oh, that's not right. You're a Satanist, or you're not woke. You're not red-pilled. You're not red-pilled. That's why I called my podcast Not My Rabbit Hole. Because beyond, my blog is beyond the red pill. All right, I'm tired of the red pill shit. All right, let me tell you something about the red pill and the rabbit and everything else. That is Alice in Wonderland programming. All right, that is a Wachowski brothers film, and we've taken it so damn seriously. and the whole red pill thing. I know I'm sorry. Oh, I'm going off on the red pill. I'm going off on the red pill. I see there's a Cloud9's here. Thanks for joining. Oliver Scotland, thanks for joining. This is part of my podcast. I'm doing every Friday night at midnight. I'm going to come out and do a rant for the apocalyptic times. And you're going to like it. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. So I wanted to make this a little bit more multimedia so I can take this footage and put it on some other things. And, then I will take this and upload it to Anchor, where that's where my podcast lives. And then Anchor disperses it out to Spotify and Google Play, stuff like that. I'm having some lemon water with honey in it. I thought that would be good, They say if you have honey and lemon, it's supposed to be really good for you. And also kind of help you lose weight, because, so we'll see what goes down on that. All right. So anyway, I was talking about what happened at the Capitol and the fact that my whole dental piece broke. And then when I went to the dentist back, they said, oh, it's going to be a month before it's repaired. I'm like, a month? Right? And then I went through a whole fiasco. Like, I found out that one of my posts was too high, and that's why I was breaking it. Then I had to go see another dentist, and then come back and get to the other dentist, and then was like, blah, 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 and, and I don't want to make the whole show about it, but it kind of slowed me down, because I didn't want to start this on Instagram and not have all my teeth. I do have some some Ustreams. Not Ustreams. Ustreams, that was a long time ago. All right, some YouTube. Did anybody have Ustream? I did. I had Ustream. I have some YouTube streams on my channel where I did it without having teeth. I mean, I put the camera up higher, right? Put the camera up higher so you can't tell as much. It wasn't... Some people said, oh, I can't tell you don't have teeth. But, speaking is different when you don't have this down here. Eating is different, right? Because, you can't eat very well. Everything's all like, all soft foods and shit. But I did it anyway. I did it as an exercise to, not let anything stop me. Like, you know what? I'll do a show even if I don't have teeth. Not my Instagram, because this is going to be new. But I thought, you know what? I mean, why not just let people see you, as you are? Just, hey, sometimes life sucks and you don't have teeth, all right? And I'm not going to stop, because this is what I do. Because I feel like if you let yourself be stopped, if you go, oh, I'm gonna, because there's so much I don't know, there's just so much going on in the world that I just wanted to keep talking. I just wanted to keep sharing things. So I did do some shows, and I'm probably going to do a playlist. I'm thinking of doing a playlist called, the toothless, the shows with no teeth or something. I'll have to find some sort of snappy title on that. But, okay, so let's recap here. This is kind of experimental tonight. All right, so this will get better, but welcome to my midnight podcast. I love midnight. I love Friday night. Kind of reminds me of doing a late show or something. Late show on Saturday night. I think about stand-up a lot. Now, not being able to go on stage, or not thinking about live performance, not having any live performances. I mean, this is fun, right? I mean, I'm sitting here talking or whatever, but it's not exactly the same as, hearing the audience laugh. It's not exactly the same as having those times of doing it. And, I don't know, right now I'm going, is it ever going to get back the way it was before? I mean, am I going to be able to, are we going to be able to do shows if we don't get the jab? You know? And your comic that didn't get a shot is like performing in the plastic box. You know, you're sitting there going, I'm a bad person. I don't want to get the shot. Like, you know, like, oh, the comedian in the plastic bubble. All right. So Cloud 9. Okay. I guess I could wave. I could wave at you guys, right? Hey, hi. So you guys are up late too, or good morning. Maybe for some, I don't know, maybe some of you guys aren't even in the United States because you're like, hey, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, like, listen to what you're saying now. Okay. Well, I don't want to make this too long because some things you got to do on the shorter side, right? I'm trying to keep this little podcast to be only about 30 minutes unless I have a guest. If I'm going to do something extra or there's something extra I want to talk about. But I just kind of, I don't know, I have Shia LaBeouf on my mind for some reason. And one last thing about Shia LaBeouf. There is a interview of him, and I believe it's on The Tonight Show. And he talks about being on set where an FBI guy came up to him and talked about how they surveil people. Like they'll, you know, like keep every fifth call or whatever conversation that you have on your phone. And he said, here's a conversation that you had 2 years ago. And it always made me, like, when I saw that clip, I thought, why is the FBI listening to Shia LaBeouf? Right? Like, why? And why would the person go and go, oh, and by the way, this is what you said to your girlfriend, like, you know, 2 years ago. What are you wearing? Right? Okay. On that note, thank you guys for tuning in here with me whenever you did, whether you got bored for a second or not, or you stayed till the end, and being part of this creative venture here. This is the end of Not My Rabbit Hole, the podcast. Just so you know, I have a website at notmyrabbithole.com. That's my blog site. My YouTube channel is Tere Joyce at Freedom of Joyce, and I do live streams all the time there. So subscribe and hit the little, you know, button, you know, the little all button for the notifications. And great job! Oh, thank you. Thank you. I did feel a little disjointed for a second, but I appreciate that. Thank you. And also, I'm on Anchor and Spotify. You know, if you just want to, you know, listen or, you know, even just subscribe there to make it look like I have more subscribers. However, so kind of going on every media that I can. This was fun. I like Instagram. All right. Hope you guys are doing well. And God bless. Keep healthy. All right. As much as you can. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.